But just give me a second. I'll be right with you guys. Let me just get into this video so that I can see what everybody's saying. I should say. Hi, Brandy. I always catch you at dinner time. Please. Let's see, I'm trying to see if I can put my phone in a way that I can see what you guys are saying. Same time. So what's it got to do? Let's see here. I'm gonna put it in this box of sandwich bags and see if I can see it there. But for all that. Hi, Charity. How are you, doll? So today I think I'm gonna canvas Dollar General out of all places. It's a Art Skills brand stretched canvas. And while I wait for people to come in, I am going to. It looks like it's got gesso on it, but I'm just gonna prime it really quickly. It's an 11 by 14 inch, and I paid $3 for it. Just love the texture of canvas. So let's see. So my goal today, I want to create. I might do it this way. Hopefully, I have enough room. I have a stencil that I haven't used yet. It's of a girl, and stencil first. Okay, let me just pull the stencil out real quick. This one right here. She's not that big. I have two of them. I think I'm gonna use that one. They're not that big, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually go with that or not. Um, I'm gonna pull these both out and see where we go from there. Hi, Liz, and see where we go from there. So I'm thinking I'm gonna let me see how big this is before I even start going crazy. Well, let me use this one since this is the one I want to use. And this one's called Andy 78. Well, that's not what it's called. That's the number from Deco Art, and the number to this stencil is called Vogue 6 by 6 inch stencil. It's from their Andy Skinner line. I didn't even know it came like that. So I guess it's got both. Um, I guess I get two stencils for the price of one because there's a little pop out this one here to create like a little mask over it using. I think she's a little small for what I'm trying to do. I'm not sure. What I want to do is create like kind of like rain coming down for an umbrella. Um, I'm gonna do that, but I'll figure that out. I've never actually painted an actual umbrella. I've drawn one, but I've never painted one. So that should be interesting. And I want to get like a whole bunch of like wood chips and just different things and kind of glue it on here. And create this whole scene and then add her in last with like an umbrella and maybe some kind of saying. Um, I don't know. We'll see what saying I end up putting in there. If I even end up putting in a saying, because you guys know I try to run away from anything to do with writing. And then there's this one, but this girl's kind of disco-ish. This one's called Hippie Chick. So yeah, definitely goes with that whole hippie thing. Um, very retro. And again, these come with not only the stencil, but they also come with the mask if you want to use the mask, which is kind of cool because once you pop all these little things out, you actually have two stencils for the price of one. So, um, yeah, these are kind of I mean, they're pretty much the same size, but that's not really the style I'm going for. Um, and maybe I extend her a little bit based on that stencil. Oops, I'll see. I am right now. Tina, how are you? Thanks for joining us. So that is more or less the goal. And I'm going to start working on this canvas pretty much like ASAP, gathering all my pieces and stuff like that that I'm going to use up. And I know you guys can probably, well, let me see. I'm trying to get you guys to see as much of the view as possible. This is pretty much right there in a nutshell. Let me get some gesso, and then I'm going to start gathering all my pieces to start the whole thing. Can you guys hear me well? And again, using Deco Art Gesso, I'm getting ready to do a video on how you guys can make your own gesso in case you guys don't know how. I already bought all the materials that I needed to buy to do so. So I should be having that up soon. So I'm just gonna pretty much go into this whole canvas and just start priming it a little bit because I really don't know how much stuff I'm gonna end up putting on here. You guys know I could get pretty crazy. It's always just a good rule of thumb to just prime your canvas, even though most of them do come primed already, but sometimes you never really know. If it doesn't say that it's primed, which this one doesn't say that it's primed, then it's a good idea to prime it, especially if you're going to be adding a lot of wet mediums and stuff like that. And my gesso is what? Let me else I find in here. Maybe I find. There we go. Maybe put this baby in there. That's better. It's pretty much just getting this there. You don't need it to be really thick. On somewhat thinly. Matter of it just coating. So you don't have things leaking everywhere. Pull this up a little bit closer. Hi, Tanya. Hello, Janice. How are you ladies doing on this awesome Saturday? I had a very busy morning today. Cut my hair. So I was at the salon like 9 in the morning, or a little after 9. Um, got my hair cut short, short, short. So I started off my day with an adventure. Hairstylist that I've never used before. cutting my hair. My hair was like super duper long, and I have so much hair. So I just pushed into the wind that said, "Fuzz it, just chop it off." All right, so this is pretty much good to go rather quickly, so I'm not gonna worry too much about that. And as far as colors, I'm gonna most likely be stenciling her in a dark color, so I want the background not to be um, so dark so that she kind of stands out. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let me just go and get some of my wood chips and just some of my different little things that I'm gonna be adding um, to this. I think I want to make this somewhat steampunk-ish. So, oh shoot, mother, you put this thing upside down when you put it back. You almost spilled all the beans on the floor. Yeah, you try to trick me, man. I thought it was a team. So let's see. So I'm just gonna get things that resemble gears, some metal pieces, just things that I can use in here. Hi, Nix. How are you, darling? So that's it for that, I guess. Let's see. Oh, I got more here. I got more. Now, steampunk isn't just necessarily about gears and stuff, at least not to me. Um, look of the finished piece, with you adding all the different things to it. I'm not gonna just be adding metal. I'm gonna be adding anything and everything that I find that I can use. Um, eight. Ooh, these are nice. These are gonna go in there. Um, just looking for odds and end pieces. For those of you that saw me put those Finnabear girls together when I used the Jane Davenport stamps, that I added buttons and just all kinds of things to her hair. That's kind of steampunk-ish, if you will. Assortment of just different things. And let's see. I have this heart here. Let me see if I can open this heart up. Maybe I can incorporate this heart in there somewhere. Let me see. I like little latches here. Oh, that's sweet. Let's see. It's got little latches everywhere. Okay. Oh, nice. Probably be add heart in there. One. So let's see. We're gonna attach this piece probably because it's got the least amount to go with it. So piece in there, and some of those gears, and I'm gonna get some buttons and just some different things and it's little party. So I'm just kind of looking through my drawer just to see. I have pieces of fabric that I'm gonna glue in there. So if I don't answer any of your questions or respond to your inquiries, it's because I'm looking for items to add in here. Let's see here. Okay. So we have this, and this. I want weird Not necessarily weird, but just different kinds of items. Carmen, let me tell you, sound really low. I do. Do I sound louder now? I had the mic kind of far from my face. Who else is here? Just do a quick sweep through. Do I sound better now? Hi, Jackie. How are you, darling? Oh, I found an umbrella. Too small, but I found an umbrella. What? Okay. I'm just giving the canvas a few minutes. Like, I just need you guys to hear me. I put the mic too close to my mouth and I almost took a bite out of crime. So let's see. Dun, dun, dun. I think that's good for now. Let's see where we go. Go from here. Let me put this thing to the side and I'll go at looking for more stuff because this is gonna have way more stuff than this, but this will at least give me a basis of where to start off everything. First thing I'm gonna start doing, start painting this canvas, and to do so, I'm wondering if I should add some paper to the background. Which let me just see what I have here. Maybe I can get one of these little things that have a saying on them to be like my little sentiments or whatever you want to call it. And then I'll just gloss over it. Okay, this is coffee themed. This will not help me. Everything has to do with coffee. Oh, okay. Maybe I can use one of these happily ever after. Found some things to do with love. Hopeless romantic. That might work, the hopeless romantic with the rain and the umbrella. Kind of like Humphrey Bogart, right? And let me just get some papers to kind of um, do a little bit of a background here. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. Let me see if I find my little steampunk book. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just use one of these. Something with some pretty flowers, like that one. And this book right here is a color book. Does it have a name? I don't know if it's got a name or not, but I'm gonna use this paper to kind of add some interest to the situation. Maybe did I see something I liked in here? I thought I did. I kind of like this one too. So we'll see where I go with that. I'm not sure yet. You guys know how it is with me, right? A little nutso every now and then. Yo paso la paca. What? All right. Let me try to see if I could put this conversation up on my screen here. Um, it looks like it's gonna be a little bit hard for me, just a little bit hard today. To see what you guys are saying. And meanwhile, while my page is loading up, I am just gonna go ahead and start ripping up some of these papers. And add just different pieces here and there. Kind of like what I did with my wall. All right, it says live. If you guys see that I go out of focus or something goes glitchy, I'm out of the screen where I can see myself, you guys, so that I can actually participate in what you guys are saying and so forth. So just let me know, give me a heads up. Muted. Hello. Okay. It looks like I'm out of focus already. Yes. Hola Jenny, ¿cómo tú estás? Let me see here. On YouTube, it looks like I'm out of focus, but on my thing, it looks like I'm in focus. So I guess depending on the player that you have, you're gonna focus. So if you guys look out of focus, then just check your video quality on the video player, and that should fix your focus right up for you. So I don't want to overwhelm the entire canvas. I just want to give her some kind of a ground. Um, add, it's gonna be like this. So maybe just add pieces here, and maybe something on the top. So we'll see where that goes. Start off with that. But I'm not gonna add these yet. I'm gonna color in my background first. I'm gonna glue these over, and I'm gonna glue those with the same technique that I did before, where I'm gonna add color to that by mixing in some of the medium with some of the paint, because that's something that I'm trying to practice so that I can get better at actually making that process and making it look the way I want it to look. So practice makes perfect. At least that's what they say. I'm gonna paint the background, and I want to paint it. Huh, baby? Yeah, I gotta buy a daylight light bulb. See, all right, let me go back to what you guys are saying. Who else is here? Hi, Kathleen. Let's get some colors going, and I think that I am going to start off with. Again, I don't want to make the background too dark, but if I make the background dark, then I'll just make her lighter. So I'm not gonna worry about it too much right now. This whole thing goes. Right now, I'm just gonna pick out some paint. Um, right. So I'm thinking blue and white to start off with. I need a tray. All my trays have paint in them. I threw out that magazine, dang it. I should have kept it. Now I'm like, shoot, what am I going to use? Um, now why do all my brushes seem hard when I just washed them? Deep conditioner on these brushes. Let me use this one. This one's pretty soft. All right, so let me get one of these little that I haven't destroyed yet. Let me pour some paint in it. Deco Art Americana in ultra deep blue, and then Deco Art Crafters Acrylic in white. And these are nice shake. Hola Isabel, ¿cómo estás? And I'm gonna go from dark to light, painting it dark to light, and then just flipping the canvas over and doing it that way. And then I'm gonna do a glazing, Mod Podge the papers and glaze over them so that I don't affect too much of the color that's going on in the background. And I'm gonna probably do some stamping on the paint afterwards so that when I do the glazing over it, it should hopefully keep the is there and not cover them up. Because I know a lot of people always ask like, how come you put paper, you do this, you do that, and then you cover it up. There's ways of doing it that you don't cover it up, and glazing is one of those ways. More than that, glazing is definitely one of those ways where you can go ahead and up and just glaze over it, mix your color with your glue, if you will, Um, and then you don't have to worry about that so much. So this is good to go. So I'm gonna start with my blue, and I'm just gonna load up. And I went into with the brush being dry. Just gonna load this whole thing up, and hopefully you guys can see that. Start going down, then I'll start mixing and adding a little bit of white at a time. So as I go down, it'll start getting lighter and lighter and lighter. I'm not so much worried about this process here, but then again, you guys always hear me say that. I'm not so worried about this because at the end of the day, if you cannot have fun with what you're doing, then you need to choose a different hobby. Your batatas are still cooking, Janet. Those things take forever. It's quicker. Okay, now I'm gonna start. I'm gonna load up with the blue, and then I'm gonna just dip a little bit. Not worried about brush strokes or none of that stuff because all of that stuff is kind of is gonna be considered texture to me, so I'm not really too worried about it. All I want to do right now is just get the color in, especially since I never know how my finished piece is gonna be. Um, right now, I'm just trying to kind of get this color in there, holding this canvas down because it's wanting to get away from me. I always use blue for making skies. I've opted to go with the blue today um, because there's more ways of using this blue than just for a sky. We use blue for a background. So that is what I decided to do today. I'm gonna have to add more blue. Now I'm picking up more white than what I am picking up on the blue. And to get lighter, I go towards the bottom. We're almost there. If I paint her in a dark color, or if I stencil her in a dark color, then she'll still kind of stand out somewhat from the background, which is why I wanted to add the lighter and all this paint that I have in here, and just kind of keep there blue just a little bit. I want the sides to be darker, and then it be kind of closed in. Y'all want to come to my house for dinner? I do those all the time with my family when they come over. Out of their mouth is so Carm, what you making? What you making, Carm? What you making? And I always tell them jokingly, not enough to give you, that's for sure. But it's a lie. I always cook big when my family comes over. Of us, let me tell you, it's be a lot of us. Up this little bit of paint that I got there, because might as well put it in there, right? Just brightening up some of that center space, because she's gonna go somewhere in the center, so I figured kind of scoop that in there and brighten up that center area, even though I'm keeping the sky kind of dark, if you will. Subject to change anyway, because once I start adding the pieces in exactly where I'm gonna want her to be on these raindrops. If I even go that route, that's the goal here. But I have to see, how to actually execute it, because it's nice to have an imagination, but not all things build like Legos, unfortunately. And my brush is really dry, so I'm gonna just go into it with some water, just removing some of that in there so I can soften up some of those lines. Transition from one color to the next a little bit easier. All right, so I kind of like how that is. Just very softly, just bringing that in. Just dipping my brush ever so lightly in the water, just letting it get a little bit of moisture so that I can clean off some of these lines and just let them into each other without leaving too much of a brush stroke. Them to kind of blend into each other kind of seamlessly. I'm gonna work on the bottom just a little bit more to now clean up a little bit of those brush strokes that I started with earlier on. So I've wet my brush somewhat. I didn't remove all the water off of it. I left it kind of moist. Just loading it up with some color. I love seeing how you guys talk with each other. Just kind of adding all of this little bit of blue that I have in here. I don't have a lot of paint, so I gotta wet my brush again. And I think this part of my canvas is officially done. It is exactly what I wanted it to be. I just hope it ends up exactly how I want it to end up. This part of my canvas is done. Let me just wash my brush real quick. Not wash it, but rinse it. Using it again later. Let me just get my little towel here. Just squeeze some of this excess water off of it. Alrighty then. So, so far, this is my base. Whatever I'm gonna be creating next, and I didn't paint the sides because I don't know if I'm gonna end up stamping it and glazing it over it. Probably I end up doing that. Um, this is so far to light. I might end up going light to dark. I think that'll probably fit me better. And then I'm gonna let this kind of dry up a little bit. Cha, change the title to Hanging Out with Carmen. Then nobody would come. Janet, you too funny. You guys are hilarious. You guys are hilarious. So while this is drying, and it won't take too long because acrylic paints dry like rather quickly actually. I'm gonna go picking out some phrases. Um, I wish I had something to do with rain, but I don't. Of course, true love. Smooth. That's an interesting one. It's all about love. What a grand thing to be loved. But she's gonna be in this in some kind of rain. Love isn't love until you share it with others. This one might work because it's kind of open and it pretty much says what I love is near at hand. So somewhere I might add that. And what she could love is the rain. She could love the rain. So I'm gonna let this dry and I'm gonna continue to look for more pieces because I might as well have time. And I'm gonna be gluing this on with my call it with my regular glue. Go to Dollar Tree glue. You guys are hilarious. So let's see. What do I have? What do I have? I have hopes and dreams. That's what I have. Hopes and dreams. Let's see. Gonna all my little compartments. I find. Um, Don't you just love having a million and one boxes full of stuff? And then when you're looking for stuff, you don't know which one of the boxes you have your stuff in. Okay, it's not there. That is currently my situation. Having stuff upon stuff upon stuff. Dun, dun, dun. And now I don't know where I put any of my other stuff at. We enjoy you being here. Hola, Olga, ¿cómo estás? Welcome to the craziness that is Elemental Designs channel, where adventure awaits after every live stream, or during every live stream, I should say. So let's say. Where my buttons, man? Where my buttons be? Maybe they'll jump out and say, "Here I am." Awesome. I'm so scared for the day that technology actually gets there, but I'm almost kind of looking forward to it because then I won't have to search so much. Will automatically know where it is, and I won't have to go crazy looking for it. Probably on my next one, I bought these bells. We're going to be decorating these bells into something shabby. Throw the bells away, and I have like six of them. So another live stream. Yeah, I got six bells. So that day we're gonna have six winners. A bell for everybody. Well, I wish I could do a bell for everybody, but you guys know what I mean. Let's see. Looking through every little box of stuff. Stuff. Just stuff everywhere. Stuff. Well, I got some keys. Let's add some keys in here. Good. Let's add some keys. I have some more of these. So I'm gonna take those out too. And and not maybe not the buttons. Okay. Hey Liz. So let's see. Maybe I can do this. Those little paper clips. I want to make this so weird than I've ever done anything before. So let's see how much weirdness I could get away with without it looking too weird. There are my magnets. I've been looking for these things everywhere. I have these little teeny tiny magnets that I bought from eBay like months ago. Probably longer than that. And all the while they've been in here. And I've been in this box before and I've never seen them. But I was looking for them. That's probably why I didn't see them. World works. Okay. My canvas should be about dry. I got snow. Let me find out. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember, keep a mental note. I got snow in that thing for tomorrow's Christmas hop. So we could get our Christmas hop on. And I think tomorrow's is gonna be the last one. It's gonna be a special one. I'm a New Yorker. Oh, Brooklyn and Bronx. I'm from Manhattan, okay? Although I did live in the Bronx for a short while. Right around Fordham. Because if you can afford them, you live in Fordham. Yes, ma'am. Bells are falling everywhere. They want to be done. They're not going to be done just yet. Try. I'm not sure which one, but I want to try to make you guys know the rose from Beauty and the Beast, the roses in the jar. I want to make one out of porcelain clay, and I want to somehow suspend it in that jar or have it held up in that jar. And I want to make it like out of I go to Dollar Tree and see if I can find some kind of an assemblage so that I can do that rose and put it in there. Alrighty, we are good to go. And I got a whole bunch of stuff here. So now I'm gonna get my paint, it's my gloss. Said before, I am going to glossing a lot of the colors over to be translucent. So even though I'm gonna use the same colors to cover it up, I'm gonna use them clear by adding the glue to it, and at the same time it'll decoupage it. Um, the the colors and stuff, the patterns on it. Do that, then I'll start commencing the actual process of going into this whole thing that I'm obsessed with right now. Hell, no, you didn't, Tanya. Tanya, you too funny. So, and I'm gonna get my little tray and some of the same ultra deep blue. I'm gonna add some of my white to kind of do this whole thing. And I'm just gonna mix it right in the same cup that I used. And I'm gonna mix that with the gloss. So again, the Deco Art Gloss medium with some of your acrylic paint. And I'm gonna go into the top parts first so that I can go into the mixture of the blue, the white on the bottom. So pretty much kind of leave you will. And I'm gonna get another brush to do this. And I forgot what was gonna be my layout. So this is gonna be the top part. Okay. So let me go into the top. So pretty much just kind of mixing those two in there. Make the paint somewhat translucent so I don't have so that I can see the design or the pattern that's underneath. Try to clear. So I'll have pretty much most of that pattern there. I'm just gonna add a little bit more blue. I mean a little bit more of the glue to it. I want it to look like if it belongs in the canvas. It, so hopefully this will do the trick. Dries, it'll look milky now, more or less, but once it dries, it'll dry clear. I'm just gonna try to keep my strokes somewhat. You guys can see what I'm doing. They rip this little edge off. And this will also seal in that bottom coat as well. And then I should be good to go. Hmm? What fume? Oh, the glue. Yeah, it does have a little bit of a smell to it. Ellie, how'd you do it, my friend? So as you guys can see, you can still see the pattern underneath it, and as it dries, it'll get a little bit more clearer, and you'll still be able to see that pattern under there. I'm just gonna flip this over so that I can work on, because I do want to add. I'm gonna just take this edge off. I'm gonna make this a little thinner. Um, and this is just my paint and my glue mixture, and I'm using it with the glossy so that it doesn't dry matte. I noticed for some reason matte, um, this is the clarity that I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of curve that in just a smidge. It doesn't give me the clarity that I'm looking for when it dries, but the gloss does. So just making sure that it's on there nice and tight. Then figure it out. Poor little guy. These are like Kelly. I've been through plenty of those. Plenty. So trying to push some of those air bubbles out. Just again going over it with my and I'm okay for the texture because again I'm gonna be adding texture to this myself by adding the pieces to it. So I'm not gonna overwhelm myself by worrying about the little bit of ripples in the paper because it's fine for this piece. For something else, maybe I would have stressed it a little bit more. This one, clear. I'm gonna pat the top coat all over the whole piece. Um, this off, and I am not being stingy here with the glue. Wanting to get a lot of that glue on there so that I make sure that this all seals itself well. Just applying pressure to that. Whatever's left in here to just go in this middle section here. And now I'm gonna add some white to this mix and then do the same thing to the bottom. While that dries, and that'll also dry rather quickly. And I'm gonna add more glue and adding more glue to that. Good coating. And I'm gonna rinse my brush now so that I don't bring over that darkness from the top into the bottom. So just removing some of the moisture from my brush, but not all of the moisture from my brush. And then figuring out which pieces is gonna go where. So this is gonna go down here somewhere. And I'm gonna probably use this other piece here somewhere. So let me add the centerpiece first. Just mixing in that white. Too worried about how dark it comes out because at the end of the day, I am going to go ahead and embellish this further as I move down the line. Trying to get this stuff on. Goal right now is just to get all these pieces on. And again, this will all dry clear. You won't see none of that whiteness. Um, well, in this area you will because it's got the white paint, but overall you won't see all of that whiteness. You'll see more of a balanced contrast, hopefully. Kind of pushing that in there, making sure that it makes full contact with that glue, and then going in there with the rest. Are you making a beach? No, actually, I'm making something very, very different than a beach, Kelly. I'm making somewhat of punk-ish rain and girl with umbrella, and I don't even know. I don't even know what to call it at this point in time. I guess I'll figure out a name for her after with the whole thing. But for right now, I know it's gonna be somewhat steampunk-ish, adding gears and just all different kinds of fun stuff to this. So as you guys can see, I'm just adding, I'm tapping in certain spots and just adding that blue back in, but not dark enough that it resembles the top. I'm still trying to keep it light, so I'm spreading that blue out. And then once I'm done, let me just, it's right here. Then once I'm done, then I should hopefully be able to use whatever's left over, stamp on it, and just be able to go crazy without affecting too much of the colors. And then I should be able to just add a clear coat over that and keep everything looking nice. So I got one more piece of paper to add here. I like that one too much, so maybe I'll go with something different. Maybe this one, flower there. So maybe I'll just go with a very odd shaped. Okay. I'm just kind of adding all of the there and then applying pressure to it so that it'll stick. Yeah, steampunk. There's various different ways of doing the whole steampunk thing. Um, I mean, the way that I understand steampunk, which I can be probably mistaken, is the utilization of like metallics and just you know and paper clips and screws and just all different kinds of metal things like door hangers and doorknobs and just stuff that utilized to make some kind of a mechanic. So this is gonna be like mechanical rain, kind of where I'm trying to go with this. Execute this, I don't know. My brain has not revealed that part of the plan yet. It just told me today, Carmen, we are going to make mechanical raindrops. And I was like, we are? And I said, yes. And my brain was like, okay, this is what you need to do. You need this, you need this, you need this, you need this. And I was like, okay. So I started gathering stuff. And this is what happens when crazy people talk to themselves with mechanical raindrops. I am on this plan of mechanical raindrops, which I don't even know how I'm going to execute, but I shall try because there to do. You might as well try it, right? Succeed enough to pull it off. So somehow fall in that direction sometimes for me without me thinking that they are. Out doubting my, I still doubt it. So it's that I have that doubt. I mean, there's no such thing as perfection, and not all plans come out perfect. But getting better at accepting that some things do work out and not being such a negative Nancy all the time because I surprise myself more often than not. And 9 times out of 10, I love what I make. So I'm just applying the clear coats now. This is just mostly just regular gloss glue. Um, get this whole situation going. And once this kind of dries, which it won't take too long to dry because pretty fast, um, then just trying to smooth out all these strokes. Then I shall be able to commence my whole idea of this rain situation. But before I do that, I'm going to start gathering up some stamps. Stamp in the background. And there are some things that I want to add to it, but I'm going to see if I even get to add to it. I might not be able to add like the lace bows. I with it. Tina, you make awesome stuff. Girl. Aw, thank you, Janice. So for the most part, I'm going to try. See, I don't know if I touched base on this. I think it was the last time that I was live. I'm gonna say she's one of my favorite artists that works with acrylics here on YouTube. Her name is Jane and her channel is Painting with Jane. And I absolutely love she just does it. The way that she explains it, the way she puts it on paper. I mean, the way she puts it on the canvas. I am just like in awe of this lady right now. So she's my new muse, if you will. She's my what's fascinating me at the moment. And she does all kinds of fun things, and she uses all kinds of different mediums, and she just pretty much breaks down the whole thing. So if any of you guys are interested in pretty much actually learning the reasons why some things are the reasons why without that extra snobbyish or snobbish, to boot, then she will be a good person that you guys can go and check it out because she checks the attitude at the door and she's really calm, really cool, really collected. Um, hasn't gotten too big for home britches just yet. So, for the most part, I really, really enjoy watching learn. She teaches in a way that my brain absorbs it. So I've been trying to do all these different things like she's been doing, and imitation is the best form. What is it? Imitation is the best form of flattery, or something or the other. So I've been kind of not necessarily copying her stuff, but definitely absorbing her techniques, and the way that she just puts everything down, and just the way that she does everything. And she's really, really a good person to go and just learn from. She doesn't take you so overboard. She doesn't go like beyond the realm of understanding. Have this, you can use this. Like there's always substitutions with some of the things that she uses, or that she shows. So somebody that you guys can go and check out. Or again, her channel is called Painting with Jane, and I always give promo where promo is due. When I like something, be it something that I buy, something that I use, or something that I see, I always give promo to you know get the idea from, because it is what it is, and that's how art evolves. So we gotta share the wealth, if you will. Gain a wealth of knowledge by watching this lady. I tell you that. Enough of my ramblings. Let me get my inks, and I'm gonna put this to the side because I have to pull out my binder right now. Um, I put all my acrylic stamps in the binder, and then I have all my big heavy foams on my clip it up that Miss Kelly gave me, and then I'm putting all my stickers clip it up, and I think that's how I'm gonna have everything. It's pretty much settled out. My lovelies, thank you. So I have my binder. Don't laugh, this thing is humongous. I've been collecting for years. So now I'm gonna try to just find some things that will help me. And these are coming out of there because they do not fit. They make it bulkier than it needs to be, and I have enough stamps going on in here. So those are gonna go back in their packaging, and they're gonna go on the clip it up. These. I meant to put these in there, but I ended up just putting most of my um, in here instead. So I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but I am trying to see if I find something that helps me um, think of rain for the most part. And I can add to like the background, maybe a saying or something. Um, yes, right here. Every possibility begins with the courage to imagine. Tim Holtz could not have said it better. Definitely one right here, and I might just use that instead of using clear thingamabob over there. I think that will work. Hi, Claudia. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? So, let's see what I can add to this background here. I got all my Jane cling I put in here. What I used is the projector paper plastic sheets. I have those from like a while ago that I bought them at the thrifty store, and I bought 2 boxes. So I'm cleaning up all my stuff because you guys know I bought shelves, and I found the remainder of them. So I'm looking at Ruth's Inkwell, um, who currently did a video where she put all her stamps. She kind of organized them in binders. Now I couldn't do that for all my stamps because I have a lot of different size, foam ones, chunky ones, and stuff like that. That obviously I could not put in here. But all my cling ones that I've been collecting, from the ones that I bought from eBay to the ones that I bought way back when, in the binder system, pretty neat. So I put all my butterflies together, and I know that I'm not gonna be selling my stamps no time soon. And if I ever do, whoever's gonna buy it can buy it as they are. I'm not gonna go crazy. Used. So that's pretty much what I've done. I've kind of divided up. For the most part, I've tried to divide up of my stamps into some kind of category, like my flowers, my butterflies, my birds. This little stamp right here that does not want to stick, mother lover. If you don't stick, I put you to the side and I glue you. So, um, just trying to see. Ooh, time. Time. Time and space, the next frontier. So some clocks. So I'm gonna do these two clocks well on my background with the steampunkish kind of raindrops. So overall, I will say that it is a really, really good system. Um, I have to get a little bit more organized. I gotta get a little bit more on par. Um, I had put all of them in the clip it up that Kelly gave me, but it had too much weight, so it was kind of bending, and I didn't want to break it, so I ended up having to take some of them down. And then I saw Ruth's video because she was doing her stamp organization, and I was like, voila, to preserve it. So now I got all my foam on one spot, and I got all of these here, and then hopefully, um, I'm gonna clip up all my stickers, and that's how I'm gonna house my stickers. Is on the other clip it up, and that will help me. Uh, so I didn't want to necessarily give you guys a run through all my stamps, but I guess it kind of happened inadvertently. Um, let's see if there are other things that I can add. Maybe some roses, clocks. Does that make sense? Um, want to, but that I don't want to, but like I want to, so I'm gonna go for it because you only live once. And I think that's about it for me. All right, so yeah, that's about it for me. Ugh. The good, the bad, and the ugly, right? All right, so I can put this back, and let's see how my stamp is. Is drying. So I'm gonna leave you guys talking for a minute. I'm gonna go heat set this real quick, just so that I can speed up the process. I'm gonna go blast it with some hot air, um, so that I can get this show on the road. So, as you guys know, I can't heat set my things in my room because I'll end up with no power. You guys will end up with no feed. Um, my headset down. I'm gonna go to my kitchen and heat set this canvas so that I can proceed to the next steps. So hang tight and talk amongst yourselves. I shall be back. Don't miss me too terribly. I'll be only gone for like a few minutes. I'll be right back. In the meanwhile, you guys can look at this beautiful piece of artwork. That, that way you guys don't feel so alone. I'll be back. Lovelies, I am back. I am back. So I tried that. Dry, so it didn't take me too long, which is a good thing. Cool. Because I have it right next to me so that I can see it every day. So now that this is all dry, I'm gonna go into it and I'm gonna add my everything as possible sentiment at the end. Because I probably do a little cutout or something and add that kind of like a little banner somewhere. Just gonna grab my little ink block here thing and just kind of start adding some of these in there. And I think I'm gonna start with the rose instead. And I'm gonna put the roses upside down like they're falling from the sky. Because everything is falling out of the sky, let me tell you. Everything. We all know Carmen's back. All right, Janice. Well, thanks for joining. A pleasure, darling. So now these are not gonna all come out well because obviously you know the canvas is scooping, which I'm fine with that. I'm not necessarily looking for perfection here because a lot of these things will be covered up. So I just want little images to kind of come out in the background. Stamped images to come out perfect on a canvas, then make sure that you put a book or something underneath it. So you kind of levitate it a little bit and you have something straight and flat. So when you add your stamp to it, it doesn't like mine's is doing. Let me see if adding it by hand might be better. Or you can add them by hand. See, that works. Adding them by hands works well. Go over the ones that came out a little bit and stuff. And I am using um, Memento Black ink for this. Just kind of doing this. A Mod Podge here of just different things happening. And then I gotta see how I'm going to start kind of adding in um, all of my different not cloud, but raindrop elements, and how I'm gonna actually incorporate that. And I think what I'm gonna do with this one is just kind of stamp this one at the bottom because I lost my stem somewhere along the way. Let me align this. There we go. Again, nothing too major, but some roses that are kind of falling from the sky. And I could have chose some smaller roses, but okay. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with um, my clock here, and I'm just gonna stamp it in by hand. Just some timepieces in the bottom there. And I'm not looking for perfection, so if they come out a little bit messed up, I'm okay with that. Isabel, Isabel, te tengo una cajita para ti. Tengo que enviártela. for you, darling. It might go out this Monday, but I'll send you the tracking. I sent out a couple different packages to different people. As you guys know that I love sending out my creations, and with also with the angel mail, I'm sending out angel mail to just different people can. Okay, so um, I think that's pretty good for. I'm gonna actually use this time thing here. Well, I'm gonna put it on the block, and I'm gonna stamp all the edges with the clock because I know I'm gonna end up glazing. So this is kind of what I'm gonna do all along the edges. Is just stamp the clock everywhere, and that's just pretty much me buying time for the stamps that I placed on the canvas themselves to dry. I didn't really use the other smaller one. I kind of kept it with this hand clock here. I was gonna add the other clock one, but I didn't. And so I have my background. Just gonna try to speed through this whole process here and just kind of stamp, stamp, stamp in all different ways. So the clock is kind of facing, is really getting all the ink off of before I re-ink it. Then this is gonna have glazing, so that all my little clock stamps, thing that I stamped will show on the sides, so they won't get lost under the paint. See how I do this rain. This is going to be interesting. So I think, because my brain is talking to me right now, and what I'm gonna do is on all the pieces, and then I'm gonna let the rain color, whatever, drip from the top towards the bottom, like this dripping effect. And this canvas might end up with other colors besides the blue and the white. I'm not sure yet. It all kind of depends on where this whole thing kind of goes. Still not even sure. And so you guys can see all of the sides more or less have been stamped, except for this bottom one here, which is my last one to do. Start with pieces. So I'm gonna start going on all my gears and stuff that I found, and just different things everywhere. And I might even add some flowers on here. Sure yet. Awesome sauce, Jackie. I have challenges that I would like to enter. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that now that my space is actually organized because I just couldn't find anything like in front of me, granted, but everything was just like a hot mess. Find all my little, special pieces. I can see like my paper pads, my paints, but none of my small pieces. So slump because of it. Where is my rose? I do not want to lose it. What the heck did I do with it? Oh Lord, I must have put it somewhere. All right, so I'm not gonna worry about that. I'll find out later. So my roses are coming down. My girl be it's not yeah. It's this girl right here. Which I don't even know to be honest with you. I might enlarge her some, printing out an image to be honest with you and just gluing on an image in there. So she's gonna probably be somewhere around there. So let me get that mask out. And let's see. I'm gonna pop her out so that I can kind of see where my drops kind of have to fall, if you will, or where my pieces are gonna be ending. So this is the mask for her. I think I'm gonna have her kind of there and assembling all my pieces up on the top. Probably get painted blue, black, white. I don't even know yet. So I'm just gonna start gluing. Brandy was cooking, so she's probably eating. And it should be cool because all of the different levels, all of the dimension on this piece should bring it, should make these drips when they come down, different kinds of shapes and stuff. So I'm just gonna start adding all of my pieces here. Oh, don't everything don't fall at once. I put that brush over here. I'm gonna start adding all my keys in first. And you guys know that this glue pretty much dries clear. I could have used what is it, the hot glue, but I'd rather not. Just my regular glue to do this. And see, she can have an umbrella like right there. I know the umbrella's not that big, but let's see. In proportion to her head. Oh, but oh well. Maybe I'll stick something on that, like a piece of chip, a piece of to make the umbrella a little bit bigger. But at least it's got the handle, so that's half the battle right there. So I'm just adding all of these keys. Bought off of eBay. I think I paid like 5 cents a piece, $2 worth. Just adding these keys in all different places because what's gonna happen is as I make the flow come down of like the water rain, whatever it's called, it's gonna pick up on all these different ridges and edges, and it's gonna change the direction in which all the paint is gonna flow. That's the goal. Hi, Linda. How are you? And so I also want to, let's see, I'm thinking these together as kind of to that. I might have to rethink that. What else do I have in here? Paper clips. So let's see here. This piece somewhere. Could this be her umbrella? Hello? Why not? Let me cut this. Let me just see something. I'm gonna bend this out. Just kind of not cutting these pieces off here. I won't be using that. Let's see. I want to use this, but I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna use it. Bottom. Maybe I could put the sentiment over that. Okay, that might work. So I'll put this in for last. Oh no, I should actually add this in first. It's gonna have to dry. So just pretty much adding glue to all my little tidbits here. Sorry if I'm out of focus or out of frame. And again, once I start adding all these things, this whole color scheme is subject to change. I just wanted to start it off like that to see where it would go. And I put the glue everywhere except where I needed it to be, of course. And I hope that this works. Put that on top of that for now. And let me just keep gluing on over here. Paper is actually metal. It's like an ornament. And it's two halves, to make like a dimensional kind of ornament. So what I did is kind of add them all in different areas. Um, what I did is I separated it. I used only, like one half of it for now to kind of see where this is gonna go. And right now I'm just gonna start gluing on all of these clothespins, these tiny little clothespins all over this canvas. Where my mind is going with this whole situation because I pulled them all out. So I had an idea at some point. It might not be the same idea I have now, but we'll see where it goes. I'm somewhat of a risk taker when it comes to how I create. You guys have noticed by now. So hope you guys are seeing all of this. What I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clip these on, clip these on to each one. See where it goes. Okay. Clip it first, then glue it, Carmen. And this glue usually doesn't take too long to dry. It's time, then I'll go heat set it again. Hopefully it all comes together once I start adding, um, and I hope will turn out into some kind of drippy paint. Okay, this one didn't do it either. Um, like rain, the umbrella because things are just falling from the sky. And now that I've added those paper clips, I mean, I keep calling them paper clips, but you guys know what they are. They're clothespins. Some of the other pieces all over the place. These gears, just different places. I think I'm out of gears for now. I got one more over here. I had ordered a gear mold from AliExpress that never arrived. Yeah, I've been pretty much debating with them. This is why I love eBay. It's just simpler. Something doesn't arrive, you let them know, listen, I never got it. Boom, your money's back like the next day. With eBay when it comes to that. But with these people, Lord, oh Lord, teeth, and it was like seven molds included from the same seller that I just never received. And they're like, give it more time. Like, how much more time? It's been 3 months. Give me a break. So I can buy it somewhere else. Because it's not like I'm not gonna buy it. I'm just not gonna buy it from you. Jackie. Yes, the heart doily. That's what it is. It's a dimensional heart doily. So let's see. One more since I have one more of these things. Um, so this is kind of what I mean by steampunkish. It's not necessarily steampunk, all the way through and through, but it does have some steampunkish kind of elements because I'm using keys and just gears and just all these different things on it. One, maybe I can add it somewhere along the top, right there. It's just very weird. Oops. No. Very weird. Very out of the box, right? Because who would think to add like all these different things to something like that? The stuff that I like to do. I like to kind of think outside of the box every now and then. My imagination slash creativity takes me. So I'm gonna actually add some beading on here. in between so that I can add smaller raindrops because these are gonna be kind of large. Once I start painting them all individually, it's gonna be kind of large. I had takeout today, so when I go live, I do takeout. Already know. They don't even expect me to cook. They don't even ask what I'm cooking on days that I go live. They just be like, "So, mom, what you ordering?" Cause yeah, it's that kind of day. Um, Let me see. All right, so I think I'm gonna go with these. I have these little round ones here, so I'm gonna go with that, and I'm just gonna add a few of them. Be painting these to have some kind of to make it somehow look like water. Like that's what I want it to look like. So I'm gonna try my hardest to make it kind of look like water. I might succeed, I might not. It's literally a gamble at this point in time. I'm just gonna glue on these little beads, and it's just gonna be very dimensional. It's gonna be a very dimensional piece overall. And then her stencil, I'm gonna paint it black, so that she's kind of like in the mist or in the background somewhere. My nails, you guys. This is why I don't even paint them. This is why half the time you guys don't even see me painting them because I paint them and 2 seconds later they're all messed up. That's cool, Janice. I didn't think of it that way, but next time you knock with the food, Tato, any day that I don't have to cook is a day that is worth living. So let's see. So I mean, does it look steampunkish to you guys, or is it just a figment of my imagination? All trends that I like, and I'm trying to or the other, but sometimes it's a hit or miss. You never really know if it's gonna come out exactly like you want it to. I'm running out of beads. Um, I'm running out of beads over here. Dang it, dang it. Um, let's see here. This little bead. Where? It's got his 8 eyes on me. Aw, thank you, Janice. Sweet, sweet person. So I think you guys, I'm gonna go heat blast this, right? So that we can get this show on the road. And then I'm gonna put this umbrella. I'm gonna glue the umbrella in just so that I don't have to worry about it gluing it in later. And I think I might actually leave the umbrella as it is because it's kind of to me it's kind of funny how she's gonna stop all these humongous things from falling on her with this tiny umbrella. So I think as a little person like inside joke, I'm gonna leave the umbrella being that small and then there. So I'm gonna go heat set this for a few minutes, you guys, to get this glue kind of drying, and get this show kind of like on the road. I'm not missing any pieces, I don't think. This is very dimensional. You guys can see that. This is gonna be popping out of everywhere. Hopefully, it's gonna come out really, really cool. Um, Let me cover up my glue. Ay, mija, no me eche tanta sal, Dios mío. Sape gato, sape gato, like my mother says. um, all right, so I'm gonna go heat set this real quick because I still have my heat tool hooked up over there. I want to start painting all of this drips to this, and then I wonder if I should add the drips to it now before I go paint, and then just go paint. I mean, then just go dry it. I wonder. I wonder. I can take this mask off of here now because I'm not gonna need it. Once I go in with the stencil, I'm gonna just go in with the stencil, so it shouldn't be too bad. And I have glued on my umbrella. That was very, very bad of me because I have to put my stencil in here. Don't fall. Yeah, this is gonna be somewhat of a pain in the katish. So I'm gonna take this sugar. It's already okay. Good. Thank God. Okay, that just dry there because I'm gonna end up putting so that I can my stencil. Actually, it'll probably be this way. Yeah. All right. So that should be fine. See? See what happens? I got ahead of myself with the umbrella there for a second. Guys, so go on your potty breaks, go get your drinks. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go dry this up real quick, and I shall be back 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So I am not gone. I have not been missing. Do not put me on a milk carton. I'm coming right back. Mira, carajo. Alrighty, you guys, I am back. So let's see. Let me go back to this. No, I did not leave you alone in the dark. I have light in the room. I don't live in a cave, Janet. Okay, so I'm back and everything is pretty dry. Hold up to me, doing so on and so forth on this thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a little bit of blue, a little bit of black, mix those in together, and then do my highlights with white to hopefully make it look like hopefully. And I'm gonna go right into this little tin that I have here already with some paint in it. Canvas upside down so that I can work on this piece since this is the primary focal point here. I'm gonna use that's purple. That's not the right color. Where is my block? Here it is. All right, so I'm gonna grab some of my Crafters acrylic black. Just add. This is the mix that's got the glue and the white and the blue in it. So I'm just gonna add to it. Add more white. I got black, blue, and white in here. And I guess I never got to use that other paper. Hey, Teresa. Thanks for joining. Y feliz cumpleaños. Everybody say happy birthday to Teresa. Her belated birthday. All right, so I'm going to use this brush here. I don't know what the numbers of my brushes are anymore because they've all peeled from me. Dumb and leaving my paintbrushes in water. Don't leave your paintbrushes in water, you guys. What I done did. Because it does mess up the coating. It messes up everything. It makes everything all discombobulated. And literally, it does not help the everyone got away. All right, so let's go into this, and I'm gonna mix some of this blue, white, and I'm just kind of swirling it so that I can get like a darker of color here, and it's gonna be like a grayish. I don't even know. I'm gonna probably get myself something to put paint on so that I can as much as I want to. I'm gonna mix it here, but I'm gonna over to this side here so that I can make it as dark as I need to make it. And then, all my highlights and stuff to make it look like water. Now, one thing that I learned from Jane when it comes to making water drops, she actually painted them on. She doesn't do mixed media kind of stuff. She's an actual paint artist. She just paints. She says when you make water drops, you add a little highlight. You're gonna put all your highlights on the same side. So if you're gonna put your highlight on the left side, then all your highlights should be on the left side. So you add a little bit of highlight in the bottom and then a little bit of highlight on the top, but all on the same side, and that should give you a consistent, as it being, paint and water. So that's what I'm gonna try today, and hopefully this works out well for me. I have to cover all of these little, and I just like to pass along useful information. I know, Janet, I know. With your girl. Tú sabes que yo soy media tortillazo. That shouldn't be surprising to you. I might recover from many things, but being a nut job is not one of them. I am one proud nutcase. Move this because I'm gonna have to actually tilt this so that I can see what I'm doing to paint some of these over. Um, and it probably would have been easier to paint these before I added them, but a challenge if you don't make things difficult for yourself. And that I do quite often. Just grabbing some more of my mixture here. And it's a little bit translucent because I mixed it in with that glue. Let me just bring this back. I don't want to sound like I'm running and I'm out of breath. All of these little elements darker than the background. And this should all kind of match in with the girl once I add her in. The reason I'm making everything dark is so that my highlights stand out. Is it that look? And I'm gonna paint these first, and then I'm gonna add the dripping afterwards. Um, just be painting over drips, and I want to keep my drips somewhat crisp to the background. What was good about adding the Mod Podge on here first and having everything kind of glossed over because I can just wipe it away fairly easy. If I had it matte or if I had it, just regular primes and then just regular paints, then it would be a lot harder to and clean up your messes or your little boo boos when you make them. This I can just go with my finger or a little cloth or whatever and just kind of wipe those little messes away. Please, because it's a lot of us. It is a lot of us. Let me get hold on you guys, let me get some Q-tips. Small little spaces when I mess up. Thanks, Teresa. No, I've never actually had the courage to ask somebody for a price on anything that I've made. I give my things away. I just give them away. And thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, I just give them away. If somebody wanted me to make something for them, then that'll be different. But I wouldn't even know what to charge. I don't even know. This goes. I just do it for the love of it for now. Just a lot of little nooks and crannies you gotta paint over here. Oh, thank you. To me, it brings more value when I know that the person that I'm giving this to, it makes them happy. Like those are things you can't buy on that. So I'm just very happy and very pleased to surprise people with just different things that I make, and know that they love it or hope that they love it for the most part, right? Hope that they love it and heart. This is just my little journey for now, learning and sharing and it. Now, what I right, what I hope paints all draw like streams of them coming down, because what I hope will happen is that as the paint kind of drips down and catches those little pieces, it will create its own kind of natural flowing, key shaped, stream for every little bead and every little keychain and just every little thing that's happening here. I don't hold it against anybody. Let me tell you, if you can do it and you can make money off of it and it can help support you, and at the same time it allows you to continue to love what you're doing, why not? It's money. And that also costs money. So I'm not against anybody that does that. I've bought things that people make all the time. You gotta do what you gotta do. I just wouldn't even know. Except for right now is it's just something that brings me joy, and if I can just a little bit of happiness to somebody when they least expect it by I've made, then that just makes it all worthwhile to me. That's my payment. But who knows? Maybe one day you guys will see me up in here talk about two for five, two for five. As long as God keeps providing me with what I need, and so far He's been very good to me, so I cannot complain. I want to say that I'm almost done, but you guys can actually see that I still have quite a few pieces here to go. But hopefully, it won't take me too much longer. Some coffee. Send some to Janet. She loves coffee. It makes the cleanup very easy when you have it glossed. When you have your surface glossed. To you guys, if you ever want to try something like this, um, after you've done your layering and before you go to your next step, oh, this piece is not all the way dry. All the way dry. I'm gonna have to add more glue to that. Let me do it now before I get too crazy. What I was gonna say, dries clear. I have my brush in my mouth, by the way. Okay. with that no more until it dry completely. Not there yet at the grandbaby stage. I'm kind of hoping that my daughter will finish college all the way through before she surprises me with the news of. Before she gives me that news, I hope she tells me, "Mom, I'm getting married." I want to hear that first before I hear anything about grandbabies. I look forward to them, but I don't want them express delivered by any means. Life is hard on its own. So I want her to be in a place where she is content with life and surrounded by blessings with her children when she has them. New York is leaving. Bye, Tanya. Any my love, as usual. All right, so we're almost there. Just have a few more elements to kind of paint, and then I'm gonna start dripping out some paint here. Dripping out some of the same paint mixture that I have here, so that I can just use it up, so I don't waste nothing. And who would have thought, right? Raindrops out of clothespins and trinkets. This would be a first. And this is what I'll do. I'll hang stuff up on my wall for a while, and then certain people and just things that they like of art that I've made falls in suit with their personality, and I end up bagging it up and putting it in a little box with their mailing address on it, and off to their home it goes. Room to create more stuff and continue the tradition, if you will. Okay, this one got a little out of control. Where's that one? Okay. You gotta catch it before it dries. Another little one. That was a good idea, Carmen, bringing the Q-tips. I gotta keep that in mind. Just keep some next to me. I can continue to clean up my messes. All right, so this side is done. Now I got a few more here, and then now all this glue, percent dry. Most of it is, but dry overnight, and then by tomorrow morning it'll be good to go. I just needed it to be, to hold itself steady, so that as I start brushing on it, it stays still. I want to go air dry it real quick. So hard to get to. But honestly, glazing over your things makes life a lot easier. It really does. And I know to you guys it probably looks black, but it's actually a really dark gray. What I've done here. And different shapes in water drops is what I'm gonna have here. So all these gears are gonna become, hopefully, hopefully, yeah, Jackie, that's true. People do buy are kits to make them themselves. So if you don't want to sell the cards made, then maybe you can sell kits of all the die cuts and all the parts that you need to make cards. That might be a good way for you to have your designs out there, but have them assemble it. And just make sure that you promo yourself. You know, you go to all the different social media outlets and you just show one kid that can make 4 or 5 different style cards, get some interest, you know? And from there, you could evolve to all different other kinds of kits to do all different kinds of, you know, cards and flip books. And go for it. Just start small. As the demand grows, then your inventory starts growing with it, you know? A lot of avid card makers love buying all different kinds of kits. Plus, a lot of those kits can also be used for like planners and stuff like that. So, pretty much kill two birds with one stone. Alrighty, you guys. I think we have the last key. I'm just gonna go around and just touch up whatever little aspects I have here, and then I'm gonna go in and start doing my highlights. I'm gonna do the dripping first, and then I'll go into it with the highlights after, so that I can highlight the drips also, um, and make them look like water. Just remember when you're painting water, always keep your highlights on one direction. So if you're gonna choose left or right, it's fine, whichever one you choose. Just make sure that you keep it all on the same side, uniform. Just repeating that to you only because I need to remember it myself. So those a little bit more wherever I feel like a little bit more is needed. Um, the only way to really program yourself to do something the same over and over and over again. So just kind of adding a little bit more. Bless you, baby. Um, and just seeing where I go, making sure that everything seeds here on my little beads all covered. Bless you, babe. And I'm gonna go and grab some circulars from my table. Then we shall be creating the pouring. And I'm gonna let whatever pours on this heart, that's exactly how it's gonna stay. So I'm not gonna paint the heart. I'm gonna allow whatever paint drips on it to be the coating for the heart. And I'm just gonna leave it alone. But I think that this is pretty much covered up. Let me just do some quick before our paint went a little overboard. Which again, I'm not gonna worry too much about it because it is gonna have paint kind of dripping all over the place. So a lot of this um, is gonna have paint everywhere. So go get some paper so that I can lay some paper down so that as I start dripping down all this paint, I have, something to clean it up with afterwards. So, one segundo, I shall be back. Okay, you guys, I am back. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this out of the way and I'm gonna start creating. I'm gonna just lay some paper out real quick just so that I have somewhere to pick up the mess that I'm about to make. At least these things are good for something, right, you guys? So mixture here, that's the paint that I've been using. And I'm gonna continue to have this. I am just going to add paint. And I'm gonna add more of um where's the black? Here it is. I'm gonna add more of the black and I'm gonna add more of the glue. Let's see here. I'm gonna swirl it somewhat. Use just a little bit of water in it instead of adding the glue. Um, just spraying a little bit of water into that. And I'm just gonna swirl it and pour it. I'm not gonna try to blend it. Um, I'm just gonna swirl it out right in. And cross your fingers. This is Le Piece de la Resistance. So I got my thing. I'm just gonna, there's nothing to it but to do it, right? So just gonna add it all the way across here. And there's a lot of marbling onto this paint. Okay. And I am going to spray. It's a little thick. Should have probably added way more water. Getting in there. And now flipping it back on its other side. The heck? I can't see what you guys are writing right now. So just give me 1 second. Standing up. Trying to use some of this extra, read all about it. Paint that I have going on here. A little, it's a little thick. Next time I will use media fluid acrylic instead. But I think it'll still come out good. Make sure that I have that gear exposed. Kind of using a little stick to just guide it a little bit. And all that marbling went right out the window. That put too much paint and not enough water. That's what happened. It's okay. I think it'll still come out pretty good. Get none of the paint on the heart like I wanted, so I wanted to get some of that paint on here. Let me get some of this water and continue to add water, pointing in the other direction so it starts to flow in the opposite direction. This is why you gotta prime your canvas, you guys. The situations like this. Where's my brush? There it is. Add some white. Give me 1 second, you guys. And let me get me another one of these things already. Are you guys buffering or is it just me? Where are my sprays? What did I do with them? Right here. Get some white. My white one. Ugh, okay. I have some white media spray that I'm gonna try to add in there. And let me just get myself another sheet here. Kind of put over that hot mess that I got going on there. Either spray, right? Mother of pearl. All right, so let's get this kind of going. What am I gonna do here? 'Cause I need to figure something out so that I can get these strips where I want them. Okay. All right, you guys, let me go heat blast this so that I can come back and add more elements to this. It'll take me 2 minutes. Some Tina, if they did that. All right, you guys, give me a second. Let me go heat blast this. I shall be back. Okay, you guys, I'm back. Mess that I got on my desk, and we shall commence. I dropped my easy cleanup. All right, so this is mostly dry. Now for the highlights. We're still good. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab me another little, and I'm gonna add some white to it so that I can start adding my highlights in my different places, and then I'm gonna go in and stencil her in and add my sentiment, and this piece shall be done. Clean Q-tip. I'm gonna use the same brush that I was using earlier. Some clean water here. Now it's not 100% dry, but it's workable dry. I'm gonna go in and with the white paint, um, I'm just gonna start to kind of add highlights. Nothing too major. Just in the bottom. Smudge it out. Smudge it out. Then I'll go in and add my highlights on the top. Add the highlights on a few of these bottom ones here. Smudge it out. See this well. I can't see what you guys are saying. My page went crazy. Hi, Michelle. Again, just highlighting them. And then I'm going to come back and do my upper highlight. You don't want this to be too overwhelming. A little bit and pretty much smudge it out. Add a little bit, smudge it out. And that's kind of how Jane did it in her video. So that's kind of what I'm practicing here. Even with these larger pieces like the keys and stuff, add a little bit, smudge it out. Come back and add the upper highlight. And these are just things that I see and I learn from other watching other people craft, or paint, I should say, that just get stuck in my head. Like I gotta try it. I gotta try it. Easier to try it doing, flat work like just regular printing, regular painting with acrylic. But I wanted just to see if this technique can be applied to dimensional objects as well. So that was the whole thing behind me doing this today. Just trying to see if I can apply the knowledge, if you will, to dimensional objects. I'm not really quite sure how that's looking to you guys. Oh my God, Jackie. That's just crazy. How you gonna say that? So I'm almost there with all of the little pieces. And if I gotta go back into them and just make them a little brighter, then I'll do that after as I see. Once I stand the canvas up and I see more or less where I am, doesn't need it, then I'll be able to go back into it a little bit more. This one little piece right here doesn't want to glue down. I think it caught too much water, but it's all good. This one right here is really wet. Alrighty, so I think I got most of them. Nope, I missed one. I'm going to in if I may. This one also going to on the same side that I'm gonna do my top highlight. I'm just gonna kind of drag this down, catch everything, but definitely add on the streams coming down. They don't necessarily have to be perfect, but all on the same side for sure. And they also don't have to be continuous. Oh, brandy. This will help me to divide up some of these uh, little, rain things that are happening here. Little individual drips. It's kind of touching it lightly, but not putting too much pressure on it, just letting it kind of flow out, goes out. And then I'm going to add some individual um, that I'm going to hand paint in to see if I can do what she did. But I hope the effect is coming through on the live because I'm not sure if it's looking um, like water. I probably had the mic too far away. Sometimes when I take the headset off, it moves the mic on me, so I'll end up um, losing you guys for a little bit. Let's see here. Oop, I don't want to eat the mic. Every time I move it, I put it too close to my mouth. Alrighty, so this actually got a little bright on me. I don't want it that bright. What do I have some paint left over? Okay. All right, so let's see here. All these different things kind of happening. And where do I need any more? All right, so now I'm gonna go in with like a really bright, just like a really bright little spot. Brighter than it was in the bottom. I'm just gonna dab all of them. This brightness. And I might not have achieved the look I was going for, but still look pretty good, I think. And I'm going a little bit outside of the actual shape of it as I'm adding these little drops, these little like super white highlights, if you will. I'm kind of coming out of the shape of it just to give it a little bit more something different. I don't know. That's probably why I don't sell much because I don't even know what to call things. I'm thinking maybe a time and a place, only because I have the clocks there, and then this is a place where this stuff kind of happens. My darlings, thank you. I can always count on you guys to kind of push me up there and help me complete the process. I feel like giving up. So I'm thinking, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just add some little droplets here and there. So I'm gonna get myself is that I'm actually waiting for. I ordered a cheap set of brushes um, to see. Hopefully, I'll get them soon. Mixture here that I got, and I'm just gonna kind of draw little individual just to kind of complete the look. That out. I'm just gonna add them in different places. Coming right off of here. And raindrops don't have to be teardrop. They can be circles too. Thanks, Teresa. So let's see. I'm just kind of adding ones. My paint is a little translucent because this is the mix that I used with the glue, which kind of clears it up a little bit. I'm just gonna just add little raindrops so that it stays with somehow with the theme of the rain and the water and just all these different elements just happening. And this is, I mean, sometimes I enter with an idea. Never really a plan of execution other than I know if I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna need this that or the third, but never really knowing like a layout or how I'm gonna go about it or completing it. I always ask you guys along the way, like, what do you guys think? Honestly, I just sit down and just I don't even know how things happen. I'll be honest with you. I don't even know how it comes out, how it comes to be. I should say, work out. Some things don't work out, and this is why you should never quit on yourself. And you should allow yourself the ability to make mistakes because it's only humans who do so. Is out of those mistakes, and what looks terrible to you will look magnificent to others. And I'm just gonna add a few more. I gotta highlight, so I don't want to spend the rest of my night highlighting here. But I do want to add a few more. She's gonna come in here in the center here. Um, so most of these are gonna be covered up, but I'm still gonna add them in anyway. But since I know that's gonna be a situation, I'm just gonna add some higher ones here in the center so they're kind of over where she is. Um, Let me make that one kind of big, just so that she's got something going on, and she's got this umbrella that's gonna be kind of falling here. So That's about it. One more right here, just so that this little spot right here doesn't stay all by its lonesome. I think. Uh, Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go back in with my white. Now you can wait for these to dry if you want. I'm just gonna get my Q-tip. Just gonna get my Q-tip and just kind of smudge that out. Smudge that out. And again, you always want them to be somewhat on the same size. So the bottom, you fill out a little bit. Your top one on the same side. And that should give you the look of the rain and catching the light from the same direction. Otherwise, your light is going to look scattered everywhere. And as you guys can see, this is, I mean, it's somewhat simple, I would say, because you don't have to really know how to paint or draw or anything like that to create this kind of thing. If you have stamps, acrylic paints, or even watercolor paints, whatever you guys have, will work just fine. Create these kinds of abstract type paintings. To have is patience. Come in the kit. You gotta have patience with yourself, and you have to have patience with the mediums because sometimes they take a little longer than usual to dry. So overall, just a little bit of patience is all that's required here. Faith. So you just add a little bit, dab it out, and then you just kind of smush it in to kind of spread it out a little bit, somewhat like some type of blending. Grace, how you doing, love? So I have a few more. I'm trying to find them. I know I have a few more right here. I have so much stuff going on in the background, it kind of gets a little bit confusing. Okay, now I'm gonna go right on the top and add a little bit of that, kind of going down. And this is just reflections of light, pretty much just happening here. This is what all these white lines kind of represent. It's just wherever the light is supposed to be catching. And a cool trick that I learned from watching Jane is actually the use of your hands when you want to know where light hits. So if you kind of spread your fingers out like rays of the sun and you put your fingers, there you guys, if you put your fingers out like this and you open up your fingers, then wherever each finger is pointing, that's where light will hit. So that's kind of how you can figure out where you want to hit certain highlights. It's raining and it's cloudy, so really don't have a necessary like a light source in this situation here. But that's something that I definitely want to start putting into practice. Where these four fingers go, and therefore knowing where the light is hitting depending on where I'm placing my hand on the canvas or on the painting or whatever it is that I'm doing. Um, a good rule of thumb, if you will. So this is why I say I'm really learning a lot from this lady, and I'm very grateful that she takes her time. Yeah, I can be somewhat of a slow learner. Good night, Tina. Thanks for joining us. You again. One. Let's see here. So now I'm just adding a few more focal points, and then I'm gonna put her in and we should be good to go, you guys. Moment in time, we'll be done. And it is not perfection, but it's not meant to be. So enjoyed it. You're good to go. More or less what I came up with. And I think I got them all. Yes, I did. Alrighty, you guys. So time for stenciling. We're gonna be done now. And I'm gonna add my stamp sentiment here on this part here, which says every possibility begins with the courage to imagine. And that's today. I had the courage to imagine, and so, and I'm gonna be painting her black. Let me get this other stencil piece out of here so that I can kind of go over that little bead that I have there. Her go over me instead, so that way I can kind of get her really in there. And she's gonna be like this, and then her umbrella is gonna be there on the side. Myself a stencil brush. Am I? Or am I just gonna go into her with a regular brush? I think I'm just gonna go into her with a regular brush and black paint here. And I am going to tape this to my sides because you guys know how it is getting away from you. And before you know it, Timbuktu and don't know how you got there. I'm just using washi tape. Hopefully it doesn't take everything off. I'm so nervous, you guys. I'm so nervous because this can really make or break this piece right here. This moment right now. So nothing to it but to do it, Carmen. So just get it done. I'm gonna just lightly, lightly, lightly. Almost done. Hmm? Hmm. I'm doing this rather slowly because I don't want that paint to go under. So I'm doing it slowly and I'm doing it lightly, so that my paint doesn't catch under the stencil. It will not catch under the stencil. Happens. So I did all my edges first, all the other areas. That's what I was worried about. It caught a little bit, but nothing too major. But that is what I was worried about. Oh no. Alrighty, so she's not too bad. Let me get this smaller brush that I have here. And I gotta get my other brush in there out of there because they said if you leave your brush for more than 5 minutes in water, brush up. So do not leave your brushes in water, you guys. Don't do as I do, do as I say, as they say. Brushes out. Just to be on the safe side. Okay. Because they fray. So all the bristles go crazy when you leave your brushes in water. So I used to always leave my brushes overnight in water to loosen up or whatever it had on it. So filling her in now by hands. Now that I have the gist of the stencil, I could have outlined it, which probably would have been a better idea than to go into her like this. To fix her now. Let's see. I think today was a longer stream than usual. Thank God for this webcam, huh, you guys? No more of that crazy funny stuff that I was going through before. Something is happening with her foot because of the way that the thing kind of ate it all up. So I might have to put the stencil down later on and fix that foot. I'm gonna put her the mask on it and bring blue to the background for the whole thing. But other than that, she came out pretty decent, I would say. She's kind of like in shadow. She's just in the midst of it all, falling down on her. So you can't really make up too much of what she looks like because she's all the way in the mist. Alrighty. This foot look a little bit funky because paint got under the stencil, which is what I was worried about. It actually happened. So for the most part, it kind of looks very, very out of shape, but I can't do nothing with it until it doesn't dry. But other than that, I think I'm pretty good. Um, I'm gonna glue on her umbrella, which I'm also going to paint. I'm gonna paint that on its own and just add it after. Thanks, Olga. I'm glad you like it. This is what it's about right here, right now. So I'm just painting the little wooden umbrella so that I can go ahead and glue it back onto its proper spot. Getting paint all over my fingers too in the process. But I think I am done. And again, I just think it's funny with this umbrella because she um she cannot literally save herself from all the stuff situation happening here. Where it goes right there. So she's got all of these different just raindrops and everything just falling everywhere. And she's just like, oh my God, what am I going to do here? She's kind of losing her mind, you know? Like, what? So, a little bit of this piece here. Or maybe, I don't know. I want to add this sentiment on there. Well, the stamp anyway. Stamp it on directly. Just add that there. Maybe I should just stamp this on. I'm just scared because this canvas, sometimes when you stamp on the canvas, it just does not work well. So let me see if I find a little piece of cardstock and stamp this image too. Oh, yes, it does too. Thank you, my lovelies. You guys are awesome. And I wouldn't have the courage to do what I do if it wasn't for all of you guys supporting me. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. And my husband too. He just looked at me like, what about me? Of course you too, babe. What's up? Supporter. So I'm just looking for a piece of something. That would have been cool to have added a jar. Put her in a jar. Like it's collecting stuff that's making her. But maybe that I could do that for another day. So I'm trying to find a piece of something here. Stamp this out because that's the only last little piece I need. And then I'll be done, you guys. This. I found this right here. This will do. This little piece of white cardstock. Uh, this little piece of white cardstock will do. And thank you, everybody. So as you guys know, I just love creating with all you guys. Hence the fact why I go mostly live now. Although I do have to try to figure out how to start making an SD card for my other phone, the one that I used to use originally. Because that one does really good recording videos, it just does not get very good live. The camera, the Logitech 525, I think it is, which is allowing me to do the live stream through Google Hangouts, which is why I can last now. And hopefully it doesn't buffer so much on your guys' ends and everything is a lot smoother. Microphone sucks for this camera. Everything else works really, really well. So I'm just gonna stamp this out and how I incorporate this into that. Maybe I could make it a little bit dimensional. There we go. That's stamped out pretty well. And I'm gonna leave it faded out like that. And I'm actually gonna use some of the same stamping that I had from the clock. I'm gonna actually stamp here and then call this a day. Call this a day, you guys. All you need to have is the courage to imagine, and everything else is possible. We are today if it wasn't for those that had the courage to imagine. So just allow yourself the freedom to be. And this is going to go somewhere in there. Somewhere in there. Just add a little bit of the paint. My fingers. Just add a little bit of that paint. Goes with the whole theme of it all. And we are good to go. And I'm going to pop this up on some dimensionals and we are done, you guys. So I would love to thank you all while I still have the chance. Thank you so much for being here with me today and spending these quality hours with me. I so greatly, greatly appreciate you guys as always. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to kind of hang this off. And I'm going to let that piece just kind of hang off. From there, this is pretty much what she did. The rain, but she wasn't ready for the storm. So I hope you guys like it, and I hope this inspires you guys to get out your knickknacks and pull out those junk boxes where you have just all kinds of crap that you've been saving, thinking, I'm going to do something with this. I'm going to do something with this. Grab yourself some cardboard, a shoebox, whatever you guys have, and pretty much paint it over and just let your imagination soar. Allow it to be free. Accept everything for what it is. Even mistakes can be beautiful. Enjoy the moment. Thank you all for watching. Have an awesome, awesome weekend. And I shall catch you guys, if not tomorrow for the Christmas in July hop, then definitely on Wednesday, God willing, as always. Thank you all. Week. Bye.